Hi and welcome back to my channel. If you are returning, welcome back. If you're new, welcome. I have to say this is one of my new favorite games out of the ones that I have. And now that I have the ability to add commentary, we're going to start a new game. Hopefully the graphics have been fixed. It seemed like they were in my test games from the previous comment I had on one of my other videos. And so let's go ahead and start a new game. So part of why I love this game so much is all of the intricacies that you have. You can really customize your maps. And I think I'm gonna go with lakes, but I'm gonna do less lakes. I think that's nice. This is a nice big flat area, and then we do have some hills. I like to put my monasteries and things up on the hills, so let's go ahead and select our rule. I'm going to keep it classic. I like the classic right now just to keep learning this game, and then we might go to challenge later. For this one, we're going to do relax and play. If you guys would like to see me do one of these other ones, put it in the comments down below. I am more than happy to do another town where we are specific on what we want to aspire to. So again, the customization in this game is really amazing to me. You can really go all the way down to how you want the shape of your shield to look, to the coloring and everything. I'm pretty simple with this. Sure, we'll go with those ones. Start the game. So while I was playing and waiting for my speaker to come in so I could add commentary, I did find some things that I felt like were pretty good ways to start. So let's see what we have here for our map and kind of go from there, and I'll share what I discovered as we go along. So we're going to have some deposits there. I sort of like this hill. We might make that our monastery up here. That'd be pretty. All right, picking our first territory. Let's see. Want something with a decent amount of trees, but still empty space for housing. Yep, we can even choose to be up on this hill. That's kind of cool. There's a nice deposit over here where we might have iron or quartz or even gold. this one's close to water. And there are fish in this one. Let's see what else we have. Well, that's an interesting shape. So when I'm looking for my first territory, I am looking for where I can expand around it, because I want to make sure that I have nice spaces for additional housing, for my manor. We may even go with this one, because then we can expand into this nice open area, though we're really far away from where we want our monastery to eventually be. So maybe somewhere in the middle here. We do this one. Then we'd be able to expand that way for the monastery when we're ready for it. I think we're going to go with this one. Our town center right in the middle. So, I love the autonomy in this game that your little people have to put in their own paths, decide where they're going to be going. I think it's the greatest thing. And so, first off, let's see. I'm going to put my lumber camp. Now, the lumber camp can be moved eventually, as long as you don't add extra deposit spaces. So for now, I'm going to tuck it over here. So I want to work on clearing this area, because I'm going to expand this way, I think. And then eventually this will be where we have our renewable trees, right? So we've got nice forest in that direction. So one of the things I think I'm going to try and focus on with this particular town that I learned in my last one is to try and put these more resource gathering outside of the city limits. So build my city, I'm going to put a wall around it for fortification, which you're going to see we'll need later, and then have little pockets of where my resources are just outside those walls for people to go out to. don't actually need a forester yet because my forester is going to be over in this area once we move our camp over here. So I'm going to leave that without a person, but placed. So that's another thing that I learned in my other one is you can put a building in. So let's say I know that eventually I want another berry here. I can place this, hit the X, and it's going to put a ghost outline of where I want that to be. And now we get to paint our residential zone. And I am going to have that residential zone be right here for now. And we'll expand it as they clear those trees. So there's a lot of things to consider in this game, along with the fact that there's so much you can do in this game. And the villagers' needs are pretty simple, but we do need to keep all of that in mind. So since I have stone right here, I think I'm actually going to get rid of that one. And we're going to put our stone cutting station right there. For close proximity to the stone. You can already start to see the paths that they're creating. Again, I just think that is so cool in a game for that autonomy to be there. These houses are just so cute. And so some of the things we can pay attention to at the top here while they're building are coins and our tendency. So tendency is, how much we're spending, how much we're gaining. Resources is pretty simple. As we gain more ability to have more resources, this area will expand. Our population, what our happiness is right now, and how many villagers we have unemployed, which is a good thing to pay attention to as we move forward, because that'll let us know, how many people we can put in different places. And so we're going to go ahead and use our last 3, make them all stone cutters. One thing you'll notice as they're clearing the trees, the resources that rely on being in the trees, like the berry bushes and things, will start to disappear. So you do need to consider that when you are deciding the areas that you're going to remove and the areas that you are going to sort of regenerate. Okay, we can start getting our market in. I like to try and keep my market around the city center in the beginning initially, and then we'll sort of build different zoning as we go through. Or we'll create pockets with a center for a market as our population increases. And I see our graphics are starting to do some weird things again. If that continues, I'm going to have to cut this video short. I'm not sure why it would be doing that. Must be something running in the background of my computer that's making it do that. It looks like we're making good progress in clearing the trees. So like I said, as they keep clearing, I am going to expand our residential zone. And we've got our first market stall. So now I'm going to have to take a villager from somewhere else. So we're going to take a miner. We're going to add them to the market, sign our berries. It looks like it's going to keep being a little choppy. We have a market. So one thing I haven't figured out how to do is scale something up or down unless that's with the arrows as we're building. Alright, so now we just need to raise the happiness of our villagers. I did notice as far as their yards go, they sort of decide what they have. So we have a fireplace here. They've got a little table and chairs over here. Some of them I've seen in my other town had like a clothesline. So it's really cute that they get to determine that. You don't really get a say in what they have there. While we're waiting for that happiness to increase, you do have an option down here to change the time of day that it is. It doesn't automatically kind of cycle through, so you can go to dusk, which is really pretty, I think, with the reflection on the water and the shading. You can go full nighttime if you wanted to. And they even have an option to be in the rain, which I don't know why you would want to put your poor town in the rain, but it is kind of pretty. I prefer daytime for my gameplay. I like it nice and bright, but you're more than welcome to play in any kind of setting that you want. It's not going to cycle through, which I think is kind of cool. they're pretty strong to be able to carry those full logs all on their own. It is somewhat unrealistic in that sense, whereas Manor Lords, which if you follow my channel I'm also playing, they're a lot more realistic in that gameplay. You've got oxen to move your trees and everything, but I still like this game a lot. We are going to want to plan for a really good stockpile of resources as much as possible. And that's something that I started running into an issue with in my other villages. As your building projects get more ambitious, it takes a lot of wood and planks and stone, and so the more you can stockpile early on, I think the better we're going to be. So that is going to be something that we're going to try and focus on, is really upgrading our wood cutting and stone as much as we can in the beginning before taking on some ambitious building projects like our manor or our monastery or the castle. Happiness is almost where they want it to be, up at 75%. So you can see refined food is something that they want more of. That's where our negativity is coming from. Rustic food is starting to go down, only 3% on that one, which means somebody's probably working more and not going and getting their food. Alright, so now we get to play in the progression menu, which is really where you get to see a lot of things come into play, right? So initially, once this new building availability goes away here, that's okay. So let me go ahead and put that new building in. And since I know I'm going to have my wood cutting processes over here, for now we'll put it over here, because again, we can move all of this later. So since they are cutting trees over here, we'll put it over here. And then now if we go to the progress menu, we need storage. And you'll notice there's so much to this. So some of the things I learned to focus on is improving your storage and improving your resource camps. Hunting is going to be what we want for our refined food. The market stalls as well, because as we get further along with the manor one, you can actually build a really cool market area with that. So let's not get ahead of ourselves though. Let's go ahead and build our storage. So we're gonna just, like I said, all of this is going to be moved since we're in such a small territory right now. We're gonna put our warehouse here for goods, and our food storage we'll put right here next to the market and the berries for ease of access. So we do now have another piece under our villagers here, which is immigration. So that is how your population grows, is immigrants move to your town based on how your town or village is doing. Our immigration rating is pretty high. We've got our first 2 coming in now. However, we may not have space for them to build a house because we just had to put these here. So we'll see when I take them in if they're going to have space to put a house or not. Yeah, housing is insufficient, so they do not currently have space to build their own little house. So let's expand here. That'll give them the space that they need to put a house in there. Yep, perfect. So they're going to build their little house right there. And notice also in our resources here, now we have planks because we've added that building to allow for planks. So like I mentioned, as you add more buildings and ability to have more resources, your resources section is going to grow. I think it's really nice that the developers made it so that you only have what it is that you have the ability to do at the moment, versus having everything all at once and sort of being overwhelmed by it as you start to go. Now I know they've built this up and we have one person, but we only have one villager available, and our current goal to getting that trade open is to build the warehouse and assign planks to the warehouse, which means we have to have a worker there. So I'm going to leave this unattended right now, and hopefully once they get our warehouse built, we can kind of move forward with that trading. Looks like we have a couple more villagers here. I'm hesitant to bring them in because I don't currently have space for them to build a house, I don't think. But let's go ahead and do it. I don't like sending villagers away. Okay, cool. So they did have some space there. It did take a tree that our cutters hadn't cut down yet, but that's okay. What are we still waiting for here? Planks. So, since we have more villagers, I'm going to fill up our carpenters so we can get as many planks as possible. I think those few trees in the housing area there are really cute, so I'm gonna lower our wood cutting here. So right clicking on your mouse will let you adjust the zoning. Keep that little tree there too. Adjust your zoning and remove some of it or lessen it. So we don't currently have too many building projects. I think I'm going to take a builder and put them over here and assign planks. And now we have access to the Royal Book, which is going to let us do trading, manage our resources, and so much more as we keep going through. So if we go to the Royal Book, our trade routes, we need 20 planks in order to unlock our first trade route. Now we can also assign wood in here and stone. And now we have a ton more villagers coming in. And let's see, increase our space for houses a bit. Still don't think we're going to have space for everybody quite yet. But I will take a temporary hit to happiness to bring in our villagers here. Add a transporter here for berries. Look at the cute graphics as they're just sort of chilling at their home, resting, cleaning. Now the point of sweeping a dirt space, I'm not so sure about, but more power to them. Looks like they have found some more space to build their houses. Perfect. As we build more and we move some of our buildings, you'll notice the paths will start to change. They'll change their routes, which again, I just think is so cool that they can do this. I mean, they'll create little roundabouts. And then there will become a really solid path for where the immigrants and any travelers come in and out of our town. I don't think that really changes as our town grows or our village grows. And until that housing is built, even though there's space for the housing, they're going to be unhappy. So you will take a temporary hit until housing is fixed and fully built. So they're starting to create a little shortcut road right there instead of going around. That's going to unlock the decorative fences. Not quite what I want. As we expand, we will add fishing, but again, nothing I really want to spend my coins on right now. And here's more what I was talking about with the differences in their yards. This one's got a little, like, water trough? And looks like we've got 22 planks in our storage. so we can open this trade route. And other than planks, we don't currently have anything that they would trade. But if we go to our resources, sell planks if we are above, let's say 20 for now. Now we can start to look at building our manor house, which means we can get a territory. Now it does have to be next to your current territory here. And I might actually take this one because that's a pretty big space. I can put my manor house over here and focus farming over here. So I like to have farming around my manor house. That's just me. We're gonna take that one. Alright, and now we have all these other options here. And so the labor path is where I was mentioning you have some really cool city market buildings later down the road. Our village fortification, and a tavern, which is pretty cool. So there's a lot of different options within this game. It is so crazy. But let's now focus on building our manor. Oh, which I have to actually purchase. There we go. So I have learned to keep it pretty simple initially. Like I said, you want to keep an eye on what you need in order to build this and the resources that you have. So I'm going to keep it pretty simple initially, but we can build on later. So I'm going to go ahead and build that piece. And then if I actually come in here, I can add pieces that I might put later. So I can sort of see what it might look like to do that. I can move pieces, so we might need to go this route. And like I said, you can leave them. I'm not going to, though. We're going to take those out. Just going to leave it at that for now. Let them build our manor. Couple more villagers. Let's pull them in here. Oop. Alright, so we have more villagers. However, we don't currently have more housing. And I'm unsure if I'm gonna have housing over here just yet. Oh, there we go, that might help. Maybe we'll be able to fit a house in there. This is going to end up being a resource area for wood and my stone cutters. And I'm going to have fields over here for farming, so I mean, I will take you in, but you are not going to have housing yet. I need more of these trees cut down. Actually, what we can do is I can purchase this territory here, and then I can put housing in this direction. Level here. That all be housing. Let's keep some space from the water. Oops. Here we go. There. Now we have the housing. And I think maybe... Is there any fish? There is. Is that in my territory? Just outside my territory. I need that territory to have fish. Oh, but there are fish over here inside my territory. So, as we build up here, we can add the fishing. And I think I have enough coins here. Yeah, 25. We'll go ahead and open that path up so that when the time comes, we can do that. Oh, we need polished stone. Oops. That's right here. Alright. we can change priority. So I'm going to prioritize this because we need it for our house, or our manor house. So I want to make sure they get that built. We have our first trader, which isn't going to be able to trade anything because we don't have enough planks, and we have more than enough tools right now. Tools are very important as you move forward in this game to ensure that you have. So keeping that minimum of 20 tools via trade, if possible, is going to be important. Looks like we've got more villagers coming in. Which means we might add here another lumber camp over here to start the process. On this side. Oh, I don't have enough coins for that. So we might have purchased that territory a little too soon with the way our money is right now, but I think we'll be okay. We're going to go ahead and paint your reforestation zone here, and it's going to be all this area. Keep all of this nice and wooded. Looks like they're bringing the last few planks that are needed. And then there's some more stone being needed, more tools. Hopefully they'll start getting this. Alright, I already got all the tools, already have the cloth, so we're just waiting for some wood. Cool. Alright, so lumber camp improvements. Check. Definitely something that we really need right now. Also, I can build this lumber camp over here, and because this is going to be our permanent lumber camp, this is where I'm going to add my improvements. So this is what I was talking about. The depots can't be moved. So if you're going to add an additional depot, just keep in mind those cannot be moved later down the line, so you would have to destroy it if you wanted to keep that. As we get those, we're going to work on all of that as we're going along, but we sort of need to focus, so let's move our lumberyard here. I know it can be moved, there we go. And we're going to move this over here, our storage facility. I'm going to put it right here for now. And we're going to go ahead and move our saw pit over as well. And now that's going to open that space for houses. They are still working on cutting down this area, so I'm going to leave them here. But I have enough villagers to add more woodcutters right there. And we can add a church. We'll probably put our church somewhere over here, which means let's actually remove housing from there and here. We'll make that where our church is. But we need to build up some resources first. So. Oh, that's right. I have not painted wood cutting over here yet. We'll start in the back here. I like to try and keep some of the trees as a border. We'll see if that's enough space currently. And let them get to work. Thought I saw you. We got some more immigrants coming. Now notice when I levied, I lost a lot in that. And they do want the church for services, so I have to be cautious about the amount of coin that I am spending. So you don't want to levy too much or your people might start to leave, which is really not what you want. This may actually be a good spot to consider for a market down the road. Where is that? House. So favoriting lets you put them in your resources. I didn't realize that before. So the things that you want to pay attention to, how much you have, you favorite it, and it gets put in your resources up at the top. Now we did have improvements here, however it's 50 coins, so I'm not going to do that now, but it is something that we'll want to consider getting relatively soon. Oh, here's that cute little clothesline that some of them have. I don't understand the wood on the top, or the stones over the top of the house. Maybe that's to help keep it from blowing away? Not really sure, because not all of them have it. Or maybe they just had some extra building materials and they thought it would look cool on their house to have stones hanging off one side. Alright, well, we can start planning our church here and where we're going to want it to go. So as you build up, you have more capacity for people to be in your church. And also the more building pieces you have. So we have a current population of 32. To have it like this would add a capacity of 96, so that would work for a while. We can either do this, or we could do this one. Let's do that one. Add our crosses to the top. Can I either do the steeple, or I actually like to do the full bell tower. It also adds some fortification to the area, which is nice. And I think that's gonna be our church for now. But we need quite a bit of resources for this, so I'm not gonna build it quite yet. Yeah, I'll do that. I might do this though. Let's see, what do we think? What do we think of that? I don't think so. I think it's too much. I think this is also too many crosses on here. You've got the one up there, that should be good enough. Alright, so when we have the resources, we will put that in, but at least it can show where it's going to be located. Oh, look, we have another villager. Cool, so our saw pit has been put in. We're almost done cutting down the trees in this area. Building our houses. I think we're still working on building up the fireplace here. So we need quite a few polished stone for that. I think this is one of the few games that has so much going on in it that I can actually do commentary throughout the whole thing. If you've stayed with me this long, thanks so much. Please subscribe if you like this content. I do post, try to post at least once a day during the week. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Throw a like on the videos. It helps a lot to keep my channel going. And let's see how far we can bring this town. I realized I did all that with my mic muted, but that's okay. So working on putting a little tax office in. I might do it. I think I'm gonna make this bigger. I think I'm gonna do the Manor Hall here. And make this the bigger tower. I don't know if I like that tower. Put our entrance off to the side here. Just to be a little different. And we are going to be removing this lumber camp. I think I'm just going to go ahead and remove it now. And that will be our tower. I don't think I like that tower. I think I like... Is that the... Oh, I need to put the big one back in. I think I like the smaller tower. So again, we're monitoring our resources before we actually build any of these items. I think we're gonna wrap up there, so hopefully in the next video we'll get our church built, we'll get our tax office built, we'll be able to do some trading with the planks and get some more resources going. Thank you for joining me this far. Hopefully if you enjoy, like, subscribe, add a comment, let me know what you're thinking about the game, if you want to see something else, and enjoy the rest of your day.